Hi, and welcome to this Trimble Connected Construction Day 2025. Please welcome Heidi Berg with this first keynote speaker, Customer Development Director in Trimble. Please welcome Heidi.
Thank you, Stefan, and welcome to all of you. This is a special day for us. For more than 30 years, we have had a lot of user days, physical Trimble events, gathering up to 400 people in different locations. A fantastic journey together with our customers, you guys. But that journey, it doesn't end here. This event today is online, and what does that mean? It means that we have actually been able to gather almost 1,500 people here today. This illustration was made a few days ago, and then it was 1,200, so that just says something about the interest and how many of you that has registered the last days. We will present for you everything from Trimble, from the common data environment, Quadrant Connect, to the detailed modeling of Tekla or Northpoint, quick and easy sketches with SketchUp and visualization. We'll also go through the steps we're taking towards AI-assisted design and construction workflows. And the uniqueness of Trimble lies within the connection, physical and digital. So constructible modeling is in our core, being able to deliver exact geometries and volumes that you can actually construct from. And that you have the platform in the center that makes it possible to share this with the field equipment and also harvest data from the field, if it's scanning or measures or whatever, bringing this together. It's actually over 50 sessions today, divided in 6 tracks, and it's also some keynotes that you will have now from the beginning. We are very proud to have both external and internal presenters in our journey today. So a special thanks to our external speakers. To switch between the sessions, just to be on the practical side here, there is a session buttons on the left, and there you will find all the different sessions, so you can jump between them. Also, just another practical thing, switching between the session, if you want to make your screen larger, you can just click on the top right there, so the Q&A disappears, so get your screen bigger. And for all of you, please enjoy the day with your industry peers and have a fantastic journey. Over to Stefan.
Thanks for this introduction. Big thanks, Heidi. And once again, welcome everyone. This will be a fantastic day together. And now we're gonna bring in Patrick.
Hello, everybody. Delighted to be here. As Stefan said, my name is Patrick McGloin. I'm Senior Product Director at Trimble. And fantastic to have so many attend our digital event. This gives us the opportunity to show you the direction we are moving in and gives you the opportunity to give us feedback on whether we continue to meet your needs and requirements in a never faster changing world. I have been asked to focus on a seamless connected workflow, which is nothing new. However, the need for a digital workflow has increased dramatically, especially with the focus on AI and how it can help improve our processes through the full life cycle of everything we design and build with our solutions. So, what are our biggest challenges and our greatest opportunities? And I've listed up 3. 1, data. 2, data. 3, data. Our ability to understand the present situation and our ability to create an accurate existing situation model before we start our design process. The more accurate this is, and the better design solutions we can produce. And the less challenges that will be faced during the construction process. There is a mountain of data available. Sources like GIS data, ground surface information, geotechnical data. But our ability to gather this together and create an accurate existing situation model of the actual area we want to work in is still not where it should be. And of course, I'm not just talking about files. I'm talking about access to the real world data that is being created from multiple sources. When we design, we need to think constructability so that the objects and their attached properties can really assist in the full construction process. And of course, the next step is once we have designed that the information that has been gathered, both in step 1 and step 2 above, is available in the facility management state, whether it's buildings, bridges, roads, or railways. And that data needs to be accessible. It needs to be easy to search and easy to query. Data in itself is useless unless we can extract exactly the information that we want. Otherwise, it's just a mass of data that we can't use. And of course, accurate and open data from the design and construction phase can improve the maintenance phase significantly. Again, the ideal situation is an object-based model or models that we can easily search, and of course, with a graphical interface. The present situation may be summarized by these points. Too much unstructured data is no good to anybody and ends up not being used. But things are changing fast, and the combination of quality data source with much improved query options offered by AI can help solve many of these challenges. This is an old dream, and it's been around probably since the 80s. The idea of full life cycle workflow, from early feasibility studies through the detailed design, through the construction, and back to the facility management. And this is both for infrastructure and buildings. And this is the dream. Full digital cloud-based workflow, not focusing on files, but on focusing on data. Easily accessible, quality data through the whole life process. And data is the key to making this a reality. Open international formats so that we can understand the data that we're receiving and the data we're producing can be understood by others. Open APIs on all our solutions. So again, it's not about file transfer, but it's about extracting the source information and not losing any information through conversions. Model-based workflows through the whole process, which allows an easy interface to be able to both search, query, and extract exactly what we need when we need it. And of course, from a designer's point of view, it's essential that we produce constructible data. because when we're talking about a digital workflow, we're talking about sending data from our design directly to construction equipment. The machines don't need to think, they just operate based on the data they've received. And of course, AI gives us the possibilities, but the data must be easy to query and of a quality so that we can trust the result. Where is Trimble in this journey? Open international formats. Trimble has been very strong in building smart contexts, supporting both IFC and particularly IFC 4.3 for infrastructure. In A2, C1 and C2, you will see the details of our IFC 4.3 focus. Adding information. Property sets in lecture C3, how to add information to your model. Open APIs. Trimble offers APIs for many of its solutions and is very focused on offering APIs through its models. Model-based workflows through the whole process. Both for civil and for structures, our workflows are fully model-based. Within the design process, into the construction process, and we're getting better at moving our data into the facility management situation. Again, this is covered in D6, D8, and E4. Think life cycle when we deliver constructible data. Trimble is focused on connecting the digital and the physical. Trimble's history is all about location, 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 using GPS to accurately record survey data initially to be able to create a model of the existing situation, and then being able to send data to the various equipments in the field so that we can create the physical from the digital. So both machine control systems and surveying equipment. And of course, as we move into digital twins, having sensors in the field that again connect the physical and the digital. AI. Trimble has a clear AI strategy, empowering our customers with access to Agentic AI, as you will hear from Kim in the next presentation. This is a strategic focus area for the whole of Trimble. As I mentioned, Trimble is focused on connecting the digital and the physical worlds, taking the data from our design environments and sending it directly to the equipment that needs that data. Today, you can send data from Quadri, points, lines, surfaces, directly to the machines in the field that needs the relevant data. Digital to physical. From technical structures, data can be sent directly to fabrication to produce the design elements that are necessary, and then to ensure that those components actually fit in the field. Digital to physical, streamlining design to field workflows. Quality control of what we've designed as opposed to what has been built. Ensuring that the design objects that have been produced are accurately represented in the field. Sending solid information for bridges, for structures to the field, and extracting the necessary coordinates from edge lines, surfaces, or points directly from the solid objects. And of course, this is a two-level workflow, physical to digital. As the construction proceeds, it's very important to control the data that has been, or the objects that have been constructed in the field, be it bridges, be it manholes, be it pipelines, be it cut and fill surfaces, and be able to combine that with the design data, both offering augmented reality solutions, but also ensuring that the quality control of what is being constructed is in accordance with the design. Full data flow from physical to digital. And we're seeing now the use of the data, the design data, how that can augment the whole process in the field. Offering model access of the relevant information that is necessary directly to the people working in the field. Ensuring that they're not overflowed with unnecessary data, but getting accurately the data that they need to do the job in progress. Whether it's reinforcement in a building construction, or whether it's pipelines, manhole layouts in an infrastructure project. Again, ensuring that the correct data is in the correct place at the correct time. Just a little example. So the ability now to accurately scan everything that's been constructed, take that scan data, add it to your model, and then control that what has been constructed is in accordance with what has been designed. And as we see this moving forward, providing the maintenance situation with models, giving them exactly the information they need. And that, what is essential here is that the data that is available in the maintenance phase is of an accuracy that is required, but also easy to search and easy to visualize. So that there isn't a data overflow. That the right people get the right data at the right time. So, wishing you all a great day, and I hope there won't be an overflow of information from us to you, but please enjoy all the presentations. And again, as Heidi says, a big, big thank to all our external presenters that are helping to make this a great day. Thank you very much.
So, I have two topics for today, real-time collaboration, and then we're going to talk about Agentic AI in construction and what we mean by that. But let's start with Safe Harbor. So, we might be showing some things that are not yet in a product, might never appear in a product, so do not make any purchasing decision based on this presentation. But this is kind of more of things that we are working on, and then at some point we might or might not release it. So with that out of the way, this gives you a little bit more freedom to talk about where we're potentially heading. But let's start with real-time collaboration. This is something we have talked about for quite some time already. Already started at Dimensions in Las Vegas back in 2022, when with our CEO, Rob Painter, come up on stage and talk about what we then called live sharing, and then showed kind of the early concept of real-time collaboration within building information modeling. Now, why are we doing this? Well, we had talked to our customers, so we start with that. Our customers want better connected products. Collaboration needs to be dead simple. Ideally, just one click and you're collaborating. Just like we can do nowadays with Office 365 or Google Docs or similar solutions. And then it should also be possible to collaborate across vendors and domains easily. So those were kind of the key drivers for us to start on this live sharing and then live collaboration journey. So our answer today to this question is Trimble Live Collaboration, a technology made for collaboration. And what it enables is then interactive collaboration workflows, which means that then certain Trimble products can communicate with each other in real time, share model changes and other data among participants. And everything is anchored around this concept of a session. And we have had this available in Tekla Structures since version 2024, although we had it behind a flag, so you couldn't access it directly unless you knew about it. And we worked with some key customers to get early feedback, got improvements to it. And then in version 2025, which came out this spring, there we had it on by default because we felt confident that now we have addressed a lot of the customer feedback that we got from the hidden 2024 feature. And we're actually confident enough that in 2024 Service Pack 10, which just came out, we have now enabled it by default. So if you are using Structures 2024 in your project, you can now, by downloading the latest Service Pack, you will have access now to, it's the more limited version, so it doesn't allow you to share markups, clip planes, selections, and so on. But it does allow you to share live changes in your Tekla model to a Connect user or to another Tekla user. And then in 2025, we have additional features, but we'll come back to that. We still keep it as a preview thing, so it might still change, kind of the final version of it, but I would say that you can use it in production projects. We have been working on this technology for more than 3.5 years, so we feel fairly confident about it. And today, as we are doing this online, I'm not going to do live demos. I typically do that, but this is just showing one example. This is my modeling, so don't look at the rebars. They are probably not correct. But on the left side, we have Tekla 2024. This was still before we had launched the Service Pack 10 version. And that has a steel model. And then on the right-hand side, when looking at the screen, we have a concrete model done with 2025. So they look almost the same, but there are like some nuances here. So the concrete shows up only as a reference in the steel model. But this shows you that you can collaborate with two different versions for Tekla Structures because we are using the reference model concept here. So you still own all the data that you're working with. You're the only one that can affect that. So this is not multi-user editing, but it's sharing of real-time information. And one of the things that we got early feedback on from, I think, last year was that model sharing and live collaboration needs to work together. Because originally thought that, okay, well, why would you collaborate in real time in the same model? Because, I mean, we already have a solution for that called model sharing, which allows you to do more kind of a offline and then synchronize your changes. But there was actually a need to do this as well. You could technically do it already, but the problem was that then when you shared the same model in the same live collaboration session, you had your own model and then the reference model on top of each other. And it worked, but it didn't look very nice. So now we have solved that problem in a service pack, actually, that came out this summer in Tekla Structures 2025. This shows, I have a short video showing the concept. So this is how fast it is to start a live collaboration session. Just one click, and then you decide what to share. And what you can do now is that you can share just the changes if you're working on the same model. So then you see your model and then the changes that the other one is doing, and vice versa. But you have your own model only once on screen. So which means that then you don't, and then, well, you have the normal camera following that you have had in live collaboration since 2024. And then you can do start modeling. And now you can see on the right-hand side, well, it did some calculations, it updated some connections, but it updates now in real time in the same model. But the changes are not save to model sharing until you publish them. And you can, of course, turn on and off. But this allows you to work in a model shared model and see in real time what other people are doing if you join a live collaboration session. Then there's a write out of the changes, save that, and now once the other user does a read in, we all are in the same situation again with everything up to date. So this is something that our customers asked for, so we delivered on that one this summer. So we're continuously continue to improve on this based on customer feedback. So really have a look at this technology. Is now available in 2024 and 2025, and I think we're pretty excited about it. And when we explain the concepts, we show it to our customers, then they start to understand, oh, and they come up with more use cases than the ones that we have thought of originally. For example, just remotely showing someone how to do detailing, or someone in the fab shop how to construct something. Okay, like I said, live collaboration has also been available in Trimble Connect, again, behind a flag as an extension. And this one actually came out already at the end of 2023. So this allows you to then, from Trimble Connect, see the changes in a session coming in from different TechnoStructures users. It also allows you to share static models into a live collaboration session. So let's say you have a Revit model or a SketchUp model. You can publish those to Connect, and then use those as reference models and collaborate around them. And the Connect version is always, it's a web application. It's only available in Trimble Connect for web at this point. So it has all the latest and greatest functionality, like sharing of clip planes, sharing of annotations, and so on. And you can edit those in real time. So that's data that you can actually collaborate and change by multiple users at the same time. Of course, the latest edit wins in this case, but it's not affecting the models. So Trimble Connect is not used for editing the actual model. So then one of the first requests we had when we started showing this to customers was that, oh, great, but we also use Revit. Could we have this for Revit? And for those who happen to see our presentation back in 2022 and 2023 and so on, we did have Revit on the kind of our internal roadmap. We wanted this to be not just for Trimble products. That said, Trimble does have Revit-based products as well, such as StabiCAD, for example, for mechanical, electric, and plumbing. So we just, about a month ago or so, or actually 3 weeks ago, we have now the Trimble Connect for Revit extension available for Revit versions 23 to 26. So you can download that extension, and then you get roughly the same functionality we have as we have in TechnoStructures 2024. So let me demonstrate that by a video. So on the left-hand side, let's say you have the architect joining a live collaboration session. Then on the right-hand side, we have an engineer or detailer joining from Tekla. And in the middle, you might have the BIM collaborator or coordinator or the project manager that is just viewing what is happening in real time. So now the changes that you do in Revit, and bear with me for a second, show up. So when you press apply, you can see the model changes both in Connect and in Tekla. And then vice versa, when you do the change in Tekla, then that change is propagated to Trimble Connect and to Revit as well. And then the normal camera following and presentation mode and so on, which is kind of forces everybody else to follow your camera, so you can kind of do a design review, for example, is available in all three environments. So that's available now as well in the Trimble Connect App Store. If you have Revit, you have a Trimble Connect license, you can download it, install it, and start collaborating in real time with other Connect users. Others, this works Revit to Revit as well, and then of course Revit to structures, Revit to Connect. So anyway, kind of summing up the unique features. Although we start to see our competitors catching up on some of these things, but then first of all, you share the models you want. So you can select which part of the Connect project, which models you want to share into a session. You can share markups, click planes, measurements, object colorings, and so on. So you can kind of collaborate on a view and then create a BCF topic out of that once you're happy with, okay, this is how we should present the problems to some decision makers, how to solve it, for example. We have session invitation links, so you can prepare a session or kind of set it up in advance, include that in your Teams meeting request, and then everybody can automatically, with one click, join a live collaboration session when the meeting starts. So we do not offer audio video capabilities, at least not at this point, but rather we assume that the users then they are using Teams or Google Meet or something similar, Zoom, whatever is their choice of tool. And then we just kind of integrate through these invitation links. Then, of course, you can see the participant avatars, do camera following, enforce presentations, and maybe most importantly, you stay in your familiar tool. So how this differences from screen sharing is that you are in your own tool, you are in 3D, and you can navigate freely while still collaborating. And then, just a recap of the features. So the version 1.0, which came out in 2024 or 2023 with Connect, we had real-time edit sharing from structures to structures and Trimble Connect. And then any static model from Trimble Connect we can bring into a live collaboration session. So that enables anything you can show in Connect, you can bring to a live collaboration session. Do snapping, do measurements, and so on. And then sessions, avatars, camera following. So that's kind of and that's what we roughly have available in Revit as well. And then based on the feedback from last year, we added shared markups, click plane selections, object visibility, and this is available at the moment in Trimble Connect and Techno Structures 2025. And then, of course, latest addition that we are now compatible or work better with Techno model sharing. But just to make it clear, these are not competing technologies, they complement each other. Okay, but enough about real-time collaboration, and let's move on to Agentic AI, which is something that will fundamentally change the way a lot of software will operate. This is a quote from Satya Nadella. I won't read it out just for kind of reference that how he sees it. This is from an interview from about a year ago, that it will fundamentally change how we interact with data. But Patrick pointed out, data is number 1, 2, and 3 for all of this, and also for AI. So why are we doing it? Well, for McKinsey, their vision is that 30% of tasks could be automated with AI by 2030. I've seen much bolder statements. I've seen much more careful statements, but it will fundamentally change how we do repetitive tasks, things that can be automated. So we can focus on the more challenging tasks and utilize AI maybe to help solve those as well. And then from a construction point of view, Grand View Research estimates that the compound annual growth rate is around 29% in the adoption of AI in construction. So we want to be part of that story. But yeah, let's go back to the basics. 2022 was really the year that kicked off large language models, when people started talking to their computer in their own language, and the computer actually understood what you said and could give responses. And it was fairly good at things like math, science, history, and so on. And you could even get good explanations for complex topics and so on. But it was kind of limited to the data that you had how the chatbot or how the large language model have been prepped, because this is a very expensive project to build large language models, to process all of the data into a model. So flagship example of this is, of course, the launch of ChatGPT back in the days. Next step is, well, how do you bring up-to-date information to these AI assistants? And this is something we actually showed already 2 years ago at Trimble Dimensions in Las Vegas. We had something called the Trimble Developer Assistant that we showed as a concept or preview back then. And what had changed there was that we had additional knowledge about Trimble APIs and so on, a technique called retrieval augmentation. So you have your base large language model, and then you have additional knowledge through documents, for example. And then the chatbot can refer to that and build the answer based on that information. So example products, what we now have had in production since beginning of this year, we have Assistant Tekla.com, which is basic knowledge bot about the different Tekla products. So it's not just Tekla structures, but Tekla structure designer and so on. And we are integrating this technology into our BIM and engineering products. All the anchor products will have AI-based assistants this year. But what is an AI agent? How does that differ from an assistant? Well, an AI agent can perform tasks. It can do things. It has tools available. It can work with APIs. I mean, if you give it physical or access to something that affects something in the physical world, like controlling a robot, that's also agentic work. And then the input can also be, I mean, in AI assistants, we can use text, speech, images, and so on, the input, but it's kind of still a human that enters that. In an agent, it might just be an email that triggers an agent, it reacts to something, or a webhook, something like an API call from another software that can then activate an agent to do something. So this is kind of a fundamental change in how to do things. Now, we have actually done agentic work, and we have actually launched again agentic work already with the Trimble Assistant for Tekla developers, or Developer Assistant, which basically allows you to use a natural language to ask for code generation using the Tekla Open API. So Patrick mentioned that data is important, but APIs are also super important. And that's really good that we have had the Tekla Open API available for extension developers and such for many years already. So this allows you to then generate code, and then you can execute it, and then it does something. It might generate an error, then you can feed that error message to the agent, and it will then fix the code eventually, or maybe not. It's kind of not guaranteed because of the way the large language models work. And then if you're happy with your result, you can actually save it as a macro. And one big news now is that originally we made this available for our developer partners, but starting in the latest update to Trimble Assistant, we'll make it available to all Diamond and enterprise customers. For more details, contact our salesperson or a contact person in Trimble. But this allows for more people to experiment with this. And this is kind of a human in the loop. So we do not perform anything automatically. The human reviews the code and then executes it. But this is an example of an agentic workflow already. So, or an agent. And then agentic workflow is basically when we just combine all of these agents into a workflow. So this is the next big thing that we will be working on. And again, maybe a little bit of an example of this is already the fabrication drawings that we launched with Tekla Structures 2025, which allows you to produce better drawings based on previous results. So you build your own collection of drawings, and then the next project can utilize all of the work that you put into refining the drawings from the previous project. And then you build up a cloud collection that you can then use in multiple projects. But this one has been out already since Structures 2025. Now we are building something called the Trimble Agentic platform to kind of, because we want to have hundreds or even thousands of these agents in our products going forward. Here's an example that's fairly fresh out of the oven, still kind of, you can see this internal development and so on. And there will actually be more information about this by presentation by Anders in the afternoon, who will talk more about GeoSuite. Let's see if I had a video for this one. Yeah, I just pre-recorded an example of this. So AI assistant in GeoSuite, but the difference to the previous ones was that this was now built on our new agentic platform. And it took a very short time to do this integration, as we have now done this as a platform. So we went from a year to months to just hours doing these types of integration when we have a platform that we're building. Then, last but not least, shout out to labs.trimble.com. If you want to learn about these new workflows, things that we are experimenting with, go to labs.trimble.com, sign up we have different products. We have, for example, here's the example, SketchUp Advanced Workflows. The reason I'm showing this one is that this is fairly fresh, came out last week. And let me play the video real quick. So what it does is it allows you to upload a drawing. Then it identifies the walls, windows, doors. You can edit it, so this is kind of human in the loop. And then once you're happy with kind of the vector representation, you can generate a trim BIM out of that and then import it into SketchUp or into Tekla or into Trimble Connect. So in just a couple of clicks, you get a kind of a starting point if you only have a PDF drawing or an image of a drawing or something like that. So this is an example of using classic machine learning to learn about this. Then last slide, we take AI very seriously, also try to do it very responsibly. So being transparent, but we do safety first, human-centered design, as you could see from the examples. So that's just something I want to point out, and we have a public policy about this. So we're trying to kind of have AI help our customers, not replace the work that they're doing. Maybe automate some of the more tedious tasks and the repetitive tasks so that they can focus more on more advanced detailing, for example, or whatever they are doing in their work. So with that.